Coach, thoughts on today's game?
I thought overall we played pretty dang good. Back on track offensively, and just a little bit different vibe on the court today. Back to a team that's playing with a lot of confidence. And like I said, I can't stress enough how important postseason is to get that and to get everybody on the court pretty much coming back. And getting those kids extra matches. And I thought Paris was phenomenal today. And I thought Regina was really good too, and just watching this team get back to where they were at and like enjoying the moment a little bit. And I think through the WAC tournament and even in a little bit into yesterday, just that pressure. So for them to get another day where that pressure gets to go away, I thought this is the first time in postseason that they just played free.
Early in the second set, there was a point where the team on the bench was like cheering for Luisa, and all sorts, like she got a big dig and stuff like that. How important is the bench being engaged and being like they were, especially today?
It's everything, and we talk about it, and having those kids work so hard day in and day out, and I think that's something that doesn't get talked about enough. And I mean, you're not good on the court unless the next person in line is good. And you're not good on the court unless the next person in line works really hard. And then you don't have confidence on the court unless you know that person that's next in line also has your back on game day. It's awesome, healthy competition all week long in practice. And then 100% support from the bench on game day. And I think this group of girls we have right now collectively buy into that mentality. And when you buy into that mentality, really good things happen, and then when your number gets called, it's your number, and then you feel confident to go in, and the person that comes out, it's their job to then support you. And I think that's what we do a good job, and try to play a lot of people early on in the season and get everybody that confidence. And just like yesterday, I thought EO came in and closed out a match for us when we, were a little out of rhythm, and Sarah was a little out of rhythm, and EO came in and did what she was supposed to do. And that's somebody that's been starting for us the whole second half of the season and could sit down there and have a face. And it wasn't that she was playing bad the second half of the season. It was what Claudia had grown into the last 2 weeks of the season. So I think that's so key that people understand that, and you have teammates that understand that. And maybe not something that I'm doing wrong, but we've raised the level in the gym, and it's something that somebody else is doing really well, and it's their turn. And I think that's key.
How big was it to play like this today, knowing you got another week before the next round, and what can you carry into that?
Yeah, and maybe it's another week, maybe it's a couple days. That's the crazy thing about this tournament. We could be playing as soon as Tuesday. So just to have that feeling of playing really well in postseason, I think is the biggest thing. I think this is probably the first match as we look back this season and into last year's postseason run with this team, that this is the first match that this team's really played with a lot of confidence collectively as a group, and we're really in rhythm and really hard to stop, like those of us that have been following them all year know they're capable of.
Coach, what does it particularly feel now that you're being hunted now, because now you put yourself in a position where the other WAC teams want to be where you're at this point, and now with today's win, you get to have another week of practice or a few days of practice with this team?
Yeah, the WAC is growing and becoming tremendously competitive. The growth that we've seen over since my time here, like we think back about what this team would have done in the WAC in 2015 or 16 or 17, like there's probably more NCAA tournament banners on the wall, but the WAC's got extremely competitive, and you got to show up every single night. And I think that's the biggest evolution of the WAC. There was definitely some nights where you could star and you're going to be like, we're going to get some other people playing time, we're going to get to rest, and those nights are gone. Where you got to show up every night and perform. So the more chances we get to be together, and like I said, a whole lot of people on this team that are going to be here again next year. So I think this is just a welcome feeling.